Hi, I'm Alice Grist. I'm the author of the Book of Tarot, and this video is going to be about encouraging you to pick up a deck of tarot cards for yourself and to start to wield them as a tool of your own divinity, which basically means you're already spiritual, and the tarot are like a middleman between you and some beautiful etheric spiritual aspects of yourself that can offer you a great deal of wisdom and guidance. Okay, so this is what I said about it here in the Book of Tarot. Tarot cards provide the seeds to build a more spiritually connected life. I highly recommend you cut out the middleman, get a deck in your hands, and start a lifetime journey that will enlighten, empower, and very often amaze you. And I have been reading tarot cards for about 30 years now, since I was about 13, and honestly, they continue to amaze me. And I know many people, many women in particular, who really enjoy a bit of tarot. Perhaps it's something you've dabbled with, maybe it's something you've had done at a party and it's kind of blown your mind. And what I have to say about that is it doesn't need to end there. You know, we all have a spiritual connection. Perhaps have a little think for a moment about the evidence that you have experienced in your life, that maybe all is not as it seems, and there is more to this life than parents, teachers, school, work, the government will tell you. So where does your evidence sit? Perhaps you've seen a ghost. Perhaps you've had some kind of uncanny experience that cannot be explained away. Maybe you had a really good tarot reading or a really good psychic reading, or perhaps somebody who you love dearly has passed and you certainly feel their energy around you or signs from them. Tarot are a way to tap into this kind of mysticism on a daily basis, and of course you can explore this as much as you are comfortable with. And I like to teach people tarot because not only are the tarot incredible and uncanny and relentlessly correct, but they offer some really great life reflection that has this beautiful spiritual edge. And because it has a spiritual edge, we are brought into this conversation as in, what's going on? What is this all about? Why are these cards suddenly interrupting my life with this incredible and timely guidance and, wisdom that I wouldn't have had otherwise? And therefore, where's God at? Where's Goddess at? Where's Freddie Mercury as the Madonna at? Who is this spiritual being that is interrupting my life with this amazing, uncanny knowing and knowledge? And perhaps that is actually sat within you. We all have a skill. We all have the ability to explore a deeper understanding, an intuitive understanding. And the tarot are a tool to beginning to explore that knowing. So I'm going to pull as a card and I'm going to show you how I would read a tarot card on a very basic level. So this is the Medicine Woman deck. I have many decks. Each deck has its own unique imagery that seems to shift and change the message of the cards. So say the Queen of Cups in this deck is going to be very different from Queen of Cups in another deck, which allows the messages, that ancient symbolic language that we've so forgotten how to use. It allows us to begin to explore that and to figure out what the cards mean to us. Okay, so our card here is the World, which with this deck, it has the word dancer written beneath it, so we can already begin to interpret what that might mean to us. And what I would say with any tarot card that you come into meeting with, have a look at the imagery. Honestly, it's that simple. What does this imagery say to you? So what are these people doing at the top? We have what looks like a bunch of women in dresses and shawls dancing together. They are in some kind of communion, collaboration, a celebration, and they are standing on top of the world. So it makes us think of, those traditional kind of sayings like the world is your oyster, the world is yours, the world is yours for the taking. The world is yours to dance upon and to make your own magic within. Then within this world, so we can see the land, we can see the sea, the elements are there. We also have we have arrows, we have a pipe, grain, a pumpkin, corn, squash, the three sisters of the Native American uh, planting guide. I'm reading Braiding Sweetgrass, and within that she explains it far better. But these beautiful foods that are all complement one another and all sit together to provide nourishment, to provide nurture from Mother Earth to us. We often think of the world as this big scary place, as something that perhaps feels overwhelming. Like, how do we make the world our own? Well, the world actually makes itself for us, and it provides for us. So these people are celebrating the abundance that the earth has provided for them. So what celebration can you have today to be in gratitude for what the earth has provided for you today, in terms of your abilities, your skills, your food, your there's a little purse down there, so your abundance, even if that feels quite small, how is it providing for you? We have a pipe, perhaps suggestive of spiritual exploration. So we can begin to look at the card like that. And of course, then you can purchase a book such as mine, which would give you guidance. My book also gives journal prompts for you to go away and to connect with the card, like from a really personal perspective. When was the last time you danced? How does dancing make you feel? There's all these different ways we can look at a card. So let's do one more. And of course, if this card feels like it fits your life today, then perhaps there is guidance in and amongst that. And now we have the Lovers. So in many decks, again, the imagery would be different. This is quite sexual. This is quite passion-filled. Sometimes the Lovers is not quite so revealing, not quite so intimate. But in this deck, it's intimate. We're talking about the crux, the real heart of what, a loving lover's situation would be. We have the word ecstasy down the bottom, because love, if it goes well, is a little bit like heaven on earth. That kind of, they're in union together. They're complementing one another. They look very happy. The stars, butterflies, love hearts, clouds. I mean, it's a gorgeous card. It's a gorgeous card. And they feel vulnerable, and yet in that vulnerability, because they're naked, there feels like there's power. So how would you read this card, and where does this idea of ecstasy and lovers fit within your current life experience? Because I always say it's important to feed your understanding of the picture in front of you back to your own life. So how's your love life at? Honestly, is this something that you're experiencing, something you'd like to work towards, something you hope for in the future? Because the cards, for me, they're not a definitive answer, like this is what is happening right now. No, this could represent where you would like your relationships to go, or a future relationship to go. It could represent some lust that you are feeling for the object of your affections. And this feels quite ethereal and almost like they're flying through the cosmos together. So where in this are we in reality, and how much of this perhaps is based on fantasy? So yeah, lots of different ways to read the cards. And obviously, the more you read them, pull a card every day, begin to look at it, begin to experience that card from the events that happen in your life on that same day, then you really begin to get to know the cards slowly and over time. And remember that the cards are not just a one-trick pony. They're not just there for one day and then you're like, I don't understand it. You can create this relationship. You can create this ongoing kind of reflective tool within your life. And even if you can't begin to figure out the meanings just for yourself, you just can't do it, your head won't go there, then get the book, Google the meaning, and work on it over time. But you still get that incredible reflection that will inform your day and tell you a little bit about yourself that you perhaps hadn't consciously brought to the surface, but the tarot will remind you, and you'll be like, yeah, I kind of knew that. And now the cards are telling me that. What am I going to do about it? And that's where the transformation sits. And that is why the tarot are the love of my life and my working life, and they are so transformative. Okay, more videos like this coming soon. Enjoy your tarot practice.